Bong Gi used to have dreams of making something of his life. But now all that seems like a distant memory. He has become fat, lazy, and fired from his work, and altogether unlovable. In the real world, people are grossed out by him. He has never had a girlfriend, and he spends his late nights fantasizing about women, whose pictures he gazes at on the internet. He feels disgusted by himself, but he has one escape: his online life. Gaming has become his everything, and he excels at it. After another long, lonely night of gaming, he became tired and fall asleep. In the morning, he wakes up and is shocked to find that he has transformed into a woman. Or to be more precise, a woman who looks a lot like those he used to fantasizing online. Confused, he does not know what to do, so she looks for answers on the internet. He encounters a young woman in a chat forum named Semi, who offers him advice. Bong Gi asks where she can buy a bra. Semi asks about her size, but has no idea how to determine it. Semi responds that Bong Gi has to find out for herself. She calculates it after getting the measurement and sends it to Semi, 70G. However, then she points her in the direction of a shop that offers larger sizes. Unfortunately, she has nothing appropriate to wear. Without any other option, Bong Gi arrives at the shop dressed as a limited edition sailor girl. There, a saleswoman notices her, and she asks about how she may assist her. Nervous Bong Gi ends up shouting that she's a 70G. The people there were surprised by what they heard and wondered if G-cup sizes even existed. Later, because Bong Gi has been in the changing room for a while, other customers become annoyed. Apparently, she doesn't know how to hook it at the back. The sales lady asks if she needs help. Bong Gi comes out the door, wearing only that little fabric for everyone to see, asking for a bigger size. Realizing what she did, Bong Gi screams in embarrassment. Eventually, he bought what he needed. While walking home, Bong Gi receives a stolen image of her situation in the store. Semi is the one who sent it, confirming that she is a real girl. Bong Gi tries to look around for her stalker chatmate, only to stumble upon a small man who was being threatened by two men who were much bigger than him. She overhears their conversation and a memory comes flashing back to her, a boy getting badly beaten by a group, while the only person who appeared to be uncomfortable with everything and did nothing. Eager to change the situation, she follows them into the dark alley and tries to help the kid, but the bully's focus swiftly turns to her. Suddenly, realizes she is a girl, and there's not much she can do. Thankfully, someone calls the police and gives a location. The two bullies are afraid being arrested by the police, so they quickly run away, leaving their victims alone. The boy expresses appreciation for Bong Gi's bravery and thanks her, but he quickly takes off running. In the meantime, the hooded stranger smiles at her and introduces herself as Semi, the one who meet her in the chat room and giving advice to her. While they eating, Semi properly introduces herself, and Bong Gi introduces herself too, but Semi laughed at her as he heard a silly name. She suggests that because she is a girl, she should use a girl's name. Also, warns her to be extra careful with her actions. Like sitting with her legs open, she should keep them closed. However, Semi invites Bong Gi to hang out with her more often. Because Bong Gi is unable to refuse, she just goes along. Semi takes Bong Gi shopping. She is trying to educate her how to be a girl, but Bong Gi keeps getting distracted by action figures, games, and life-size robots. However, Semi has a bigger problem than this because she notices how Bong Gi stinks. Apparently, Bong Gi takes a shower once a week, and she was too busy and forget to shower today. After Semi instructed Bong Gi how to clean herself and act like a woman, they went shopping for her needs. Semi asked Bong Gi to visit the fortune teller. There, Semi and Bong Gi pay close attention to what the teller is saying in the Bong Gi cards. The teller sees that while she has experienced difficult times, she has recently made significant improvements to her life. Semi confirms to this and informs the teller that Bong Gi underwent reassignment surgery. The teller laughs at this, who then soon realizes what the cards are attempting to say about Bong Gi. Then Semi asks her about compatibility with marriage, but the fortune teller advises her to break up with the man, and he's not the one. This upsets Semi, who calls the fortune teller a fraud for talking nonsense about her love life, and walks away. Before Bong Gi left, the fortune teller notices that she is wearing clothing that are not her own. She advises to wear her own clothes or else bad luck will strike her. She then received a text saying that Semi had a plan, so she left first. Semi rapidly runs as she sees her boyfriend, Seong Min. She offers to make him dinner, but Seong Min declines because he has a lot of work to do today. When Semi tries to reason, she is just ignored. Eru, their dog, is the only one that recognizes Semi's presence in the home. Meanwhile, Bong Gi is overthinking what the fortune teller told her. Suddenly someone rang the doorbell. It was Semi, and brings several beers with her. Since Bong Gi has been a man before, she asks her what she thinks of her as a woman, from a guy's perspective. She tells her she's cute, and is like a younger sister to her. Semi is obviously disappointed in her answer, but Bong Gi is clueless of what's wrong. After consuming all the beer, Semi passes out in Bong Gi's apartment, while Bong Gi can't sleep, and thinking this is her misfortune. In the morning, she wakes up alone and Semi left already, but she soon senses the delicious smell of freshly cooked by the almighty Semi. Bong Gi is so happy with this, since Bong Gi hasn't had home-cooked food in such a long time. After he finished eating, she receives a call from her boss, and she answers quickly. However, she realizes that she's a girl now, so she tries to reason that she is Bong Gi's girlfriend. However, because her boss doesn't believe her, she has to pretend to be Bong Gi's cousin. Bong Gi tells their boss that Bong Gi is sick and will be absent. Her boss isn't happy with this, and neither Bong Gi, because he won't be receiving his paycheck. She has to do something about the situation. Later, he went to his workplace. However, the boss and Blondie are too shocked to speak. Bong Gi introduces herself as Jeong, Bong Gi's cousin. Her boss and Blondie are treating her differently for some reason. The boss gives her the paycheck without any hesitation and even praises Bong Gi for being a responsible worker. Meanwhile, Blondie gets her coffee, but his hand shakes so much that the cup slips his hands. Jeong went to the bathroom to clean his pants. Since she's a different person now, she will use this to her advantage. Taking her revenge, she called the Blondie for some help. Her hairpin with sentimental value fell on the urinal and was unable to take it because it was covered in pee. Blondie hesitates, but a few charming gestures convince him to swallow his pride and reach out for the hairpin. He managed to get the hairpin from the pee, but she is no longer there. She receives a call from Semi. If she interested in working part-time at a convenience store, without any hesitation, she happily agreed. She leaves the place feeling much better. At the store, while she was working, a man named Sang-woo approached him. She was stunned. Bong Gi's tragic memories and trauma started. She's still shaking as she remembers that fateful day. Bong Gi has tried his best to forget about the incident that changed the whole course of his life. However, seeing Sang-woo in the convenience store triggers many painful memories. Back in high school, younger Bong Gi was a track and field athlete. He was a young star in track and field because even during practice, he broke records. Because the coach always praised and liked him, someone became jealous of him. Bong Gi was good because he put up a lot of effort. Sang-woo did not know him, but he watched him training hard while studying for college. On the other side, the coach is disciplining the student who was jealous of him for underage drinking and bullying his classmate. When the coach advised him to become more like Bong Gi, which he became more angry to Bong Gi. The bully and two of his classmates cornered Bong Gi in the locker room. He blamed Bong Gi for injuring his arm and accused him of tripping him over earlier. He even called him a coach's pet. However, since Bong Gi had no idea what the bully was talking about, he was confused and terrified. Suddenly, Sang-woo entered the locker room and excused himself, saying he would just put something he needed to put in locker. However, before he left, he asked them what they were doing and insulted the three bullies for harassing the small boy. Enraged, the envious bully charged Sang-woo, but he stopped him because he didn't condone violence. However, the bully didn't care and punched him. Later, after when the bullies left, Bong Gi apologized to Sang-woo, but Sang-woo clarified that he did not do it for him. He told Bong Gi he couldn't just forgive himself if he left him like that without doing anything. The following day, while Bong Gi was eating in the cafeteria, Sang-woo sat across from him with an injured hand. Bong Gi asked what happened to his hand, but Sang-woo just said it's nothing. Later, as Bong Gi walks from school, the three bullies surrounded him once again. They dragged him into an alleyway, and the main bully punched him. They interrogated Bong Gi about where Sang-woo was. Bong Gi told them he didn't know, but noticed the bruise on the main bully's face. Perhaps this is what caused Sang-woo's hand injury. The bullies didn't believe him, so they beat him up. Sang-woo suddenly appeared, but he did nothing, and simply by giving him a look, and he left. The aggression of the bullies caused them to break Bong Gi's legs and left him. Bong Gi blaming Sang-woo for abandoning him despite being his only friend, leaving school without a trace following the incident. Bong Gi was left alone with his injury, which left him unable to run. After that what happened, he was left with nothing, his talent, motivation, which made him fat, lazy. He was miserable, but the coward Sang-woo lived a happy life. Back to the present, at the convenience store, Sang-woo returns and Jeong is agitated and furious to see him again. However, she notices a little girl crying, so she tries to calm herself down and asks as to what the problem. The little girl keeps crying, and Jeong finds herself at a loss for words. Eventually, she just starts making silly faces. When the little girl begins to laugh, Sang-woo notices and it makes him laugh. Later that night, Semi are back in Jeong's apartment, drinking once again. Semi notices how down Jeong is today, so she asks her, what's the problem? Jeong asked how she high school was. Semi proudly reveals that boys would wait in lines to see her, but Jeong doesn't believe him. Jiang reveal about her high school experience. He went from being a rising star to losing everything after being injured by bullies. But her real hatred is against the one friend who abandoned her after she was beaten and humiliated. Jiang adds that she saw the guy in the convenience store living a good life. She was furious, but she refrained from confronting him out of self-pity. This is not acceptable for Semi, so she drags Jiang to the mirror. She encourages Jiang that she should start acting confidently and making the most of who she is right now. Thank you for watching. I only covered 1 to 5 episodes. If you're interested in this anime, the anime name is When I Woke Up I Became a Bagel Girl.